presentation. Thank you. If you have any questions throughout our presentation, please put them into chat, and we do have someone moderating that, and then we will get to those questions at the end. Just wanted to introduce our board. I don't know that everyone is represented here today on the call, but we do have the majority of our board members represented. So we do have a full board this year. We're excited with some new members, and very excited to meet everyone here today. We do have a full agenda, so we're going to be talking a little bit about the memberships of being a member, or excuse me, the benefits of being a member, both from a global and your local chapter level. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about our programming options this year. We're going to be talking about mentorship and what that opportunity could do for you. We will then dive into a little bit about our idea and the goals that we have as a chapter for that perspective, sharing a little bit about youth and philanthropy, and then finally talking briefly about the National Philanthropy Day later this year. So I would like to, here's the list of who's speaking today, just so you are aware. We have our president, myself, our membership co-chair, mentorship chair, youth and philanthropy chair, IDEA, and the National Philanthropy chair. But if I could pass it over to our president, Liz Wollenberg, she would just like to say a few things.
Thanks so much, Robin. Hey, everybody. I'm coming to you from dreary Milwaukee, if you can tell by this dark dungeon of an office that I'm working out of today. It is foggy and dreary, but I am so excited to be a part of this meeting today. I logged in and I was just overwhelmed with the amount of people. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us for this. We really try to do this AFP 101 at the beginning of every year, because it sets the stage for those of you who are either new to the chapter or interested in joining the chapter, and gives you a better idea of what AFP is really about. We want for you to be interested in whether it's programming to expand your professional development, whether it's networking, and what's important to you is making connections with other fundraisers in the community. If finding the spot that meets what you're looking for in nonprofits and in fundraising, that's what we're here for. So we want to hear your voice, and we want to show you everything that AFP has to offer. Personally, AFP, I joined because of the professional development. I was new to fundraising. It was the experts in the space, the place to come to learn about fundraising. And truthfully, and I will say this time and time again, I have created some of the most valuable relationships in this room. Honestly, I can see some of you, and it's really great to have people that speak your language. They know what you're going through, and they're not in your organization, so you can share things with them and get ideas, and it just is a really great community. So I hope that you all find value in something that you'll learn about AFP today. This is just the tip of the iceberg too. We have so much more to offer. So please engage today. If you have questions for anybody who's speaking or want to learn more, please reach out to us. My email is all over the place. Feel free to just reach out to me. I'm happy to share engagement ideas. But otherwise, I thank you all for being here. And if you are not a member of AFP, I can't wait for you to become one.
Thank you, Liz. So yeah, as Liz shared, she's been a member for a while, and I actually have been a member since 2013 myself. And when I first joined, I definitely dove right into a lot of the benefits that the AFP is available to you as a fundraiser and to you for your nonprofit. So Amanda will be sharing a little bit more about what all those benefits look like. If I can advance my screen, there we go.
Yeah. Well, it's really good to have everybody here today, and I will echo what Liz and Robin have said about the value of joining AFP. If you see fundraising as a career for you, this is the place that you need to be. This AFP membership has done so much for my career. There's a couple of things in life that you can say that about. AFP was definitely one of the things that has been a big factor in the trajectory of my fundraising career. So if you love fundraising, if you're going to stick around for any amount of time in the space, join AFP. There's a few different buckets that I put these member benefits under. We've got the educational benefits, which you'll hear a little bit more about when Robin talks about the programming. We have a full slate of just super valuable programming almost every year. We dig deep into topics that really matter and that people are talking about and that are affecting your everyday life as a fundraiser. So definitely take advantage of a lot of those educational workshops that we host locally. But also, if you go to the global website, there's a bunch of free webinars for members. If you're not a member yet, they still have webinars on there that you can pay for that are still very valuable, but there's a lot of free and discounted webinars from AFP Global if you're a member. So definitely, if you're new to the field, or if you need a refresher, or if you need some CFRE credits, go on there. You can probably bust out a bunch of CFRE credits with a bunch of those free webinars. And obviously a lot of the programming that we have available throughout the year is super affordable as well. So definitely check out some of that. The networking benefits, like Liz said, invaluable, right? Like we need each other. Fundraising is a lonely job. It's not supposed to be a lonely job. We're supposed to be able to rely on our team, but a lot of times it is a very lonely job. So being able to lean on your network of peers for support is super important. It's made a big difference in my life, and I know many of yours as well. So that's one of the biggest benefits is networking. We do have exclusive member networking events and benefits as well. So we have recently launched, last year we launched what's called AFP Member Connect for Northeast Wisconsin, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but it's a good way to get to connected one-on-one with other members in this community. We also have the mentoring that we do, and that creates a lot of valuable networks. Tanya's going to talk a little bit about that a little bit later, how you can get involved with mentoring. That's definitely a benefit. And then there's a list of resource benefits. So access to free unlimited access to AFP 360. So that has free career coaching. You can do interview prep, mock interviews, all that kind of stuff. Super valuable if you are changing positions or looking for a promotion at your current place. That will give you a lot. So that's completely free with the membership. Targeted free job postings with membership from Northeast Wisconsin. And then you've got the discounted job postings for AFP Global if you're looking globally for some positions. So you can go on the website. They're adding and changing these resources all the time. So just make sure at least once in a while you're checking the AFP Global website for some of the new benefits that you could have, because you just never know. They're always adding stuff. So another big benefit is 20% discount on CFRE. So if you have fallen in love with fundraising and this is a career for you, I definitely encourage you to get the Certified Fundraising Executive certification. I got my certification a few years ago. It is just invaluable. It's a great asset for you to just put that on your resume, because what it means is that not only do you know you have the book smarts about fundraising, but it means that you also have a proven track record of actually raising funds. So when I put that on, when I'm talking to clients or potential clients and I say I'm a certified fundraising executive, that means something. It holds some weight, and it means that I've actually brought significant dollars in. So I would encourage you to get that if this is a career for you as well. Do you want to go to the next slide, Robin? So AFP Member Connect, this is what I talked about briefly. So last year, and it might have been even late 2022, we partnered with a small local company called Micronet. They have been working with chambers of commerce and a lot of other associations and companies to create micro networking experiences. And what that means is they take the event out of networking. So you get an introduction once a month to another AFP member. And from there, that comes in your email. From there, the two of you will set up a time to either have coffee in person or do a virtual chat. And that really gets you connected one-on-one with other members and builds your network that way. It works really well for people like myself who I go to events, but I really like to know people when I go to events, and I am kind of an extrovert. So I've been around AFP for a while, so you might not notice it if I'm in a room because I know a lot of people because I've been around a while. But I remember when I first started in AFP and I felt like everyone knows each other, and I don't know, I would sit there quiet and I wouldn't really talk to people. And I really love that for those kind of people like myself who you're interested in getting to know people, but you're just better one-on-one. And then when you get to the event, then you can look at somebody and be like, hey, I know them. I'll go sit by them because I met them in this one-on-one experience. So that's what I really love about it. And it gets you connected to people that you might not otherwise get connected with, right? And I know we've had some really good experiences. I'm sure people on this call have been introduced to others on this call even. And I've just heard a lot of great feedback about this program that we have. There's a QR code. If you are a member, feel free to sign up today. That's free with your membership. If you're not a member, become a member and it's free. So that's that. So you might be thinking membership is kind of expensive, especially if you're a small nonprofit. And I have a big place in my heart for you small nonprofits. That's basically all I work with as a consultant. All of my clients are small nonprofits. So I wanted to bring this up as well, because if you're looking at an AFP membership, this could potentially get you $100 off your membership. So an associate membership is the typical membership. That's the one I have because I'm a consultant and not a nonprofit, so I have to do that. But they don't advertise this a lot, but I'm going to advertise it because I want you guys to know if you are a small nonprofit, which means you have a budget of less than 2 million and you have less than 2 full-time staff that are dedicated to fundraising, and you're not a part of another organization like I can't even think of an example really, but if you are a standalone nonprofit organization, operating budget less than 2 million and less than 2 full-time staff that are dedicated to fundraising, this is for you. It's only $125 a year plus $60 for chapter dues. So I definitely encourage you, if you are a small nonprofit, take advantage of this. $100 off your membership. And then you get all of the benefits that I just talked about. So I think I'm done. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast. I'll be around for questions if you have them.
Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, so as you can see, there's just a ton of benefits for joining AFP, and as stated, we just touched on the surface of a lot of them. There's just so many more as you kind of dig around, especially from a global perspective. When you peruse their website, there's just a ton of resources available to you. So next, what I want to do is chat a little bit about the programming that we are offering to both members and non-members. we worked really hard to try to make things, because we are a large geographical area that Northeast Wisconsin covers from our chapter. We wanted to make sure that a lot of our programming is accessible to as many as possible. So for example, every month we are doing a roundtable this year. Well, except for July and December, just because we know that July, a lot of people are gone on vacations. In December, we just sometimes need to just take a break at the end of the year. But every month we will be having roundtables. And if you were able to join the January one, it was a great conversation that we had. And each roundtable is focused on a specific topic. It's just a suggested topic to focus your discussion around. It doesn't have to stay on that topic, but again, it just gives a sense of direction for that open conversation. And we are having those in 2 locations every single month. So it's either in Green Bay or the Fox Cities. Again, so you can, wherever you are, you could be able to join that roundtable. And another thing we're trying to do is, Global puts out a lot of webinars, as Amanda was mentioning, and there's a ton of those educational opportunities. And as we were trying to put together the program for this year, it's like, well, why do we don't necessarily have to recreate the wheel all the time. We can utilize what's already been done and what's already been recorded, but it will allow us to come together and have some networking opportunities as well, but then utilize the webinars that are already recorded and have a watch party, if you will. So 2 times this year, you're going to see that we're going to have a webinar watch party. Again, it's going to be focused on a specific topic. We're going to select a particular webinar from Global, but then we are going to meet either in Green Bay or the Fox Cities. And it's just kind of a brown bag, bring your lunch and watch it together. But then again, have that opportunity to have those conversations in person about what has been shared on the webinar. And again, the ability to network, something that we heard from our members, that they really like that opportunity. We are, a couple of the speakers that we're bringing in this year are really excited. We have one coming in March that's focused on artificial intelligence. That's really the hot topic right now. And he has a great presentation about fundraising and AI and what that looks like. He will be presenting virtual. So again, what we like to do is offer a lot of our sessions virtually with an in-person component, which means that our presenter is presenting virtually. So therefore, if you can't be in person, you can still join in. But then we do have that in person. So again, we're all collectively watching the presenter in a room. And typically we're going to be providing you some food so that you can, again, come have some networking opportunities, get some tasty food, and then enjoy a great presentation. In May, we collaborate with the Nonprofit Leadership Initiative, and they're going to be doing a great presentation in the morning on May 23rd, all about fundraising and how to be productive in fundraising, how to get your board engaged in fundraising, community-centric fundraising. So it'll be a great morning of all things fundraising related with 2 phenomenal speakers. Chad Barger is from Pennsylvania, and Nicole Hoffman is from the Madison area. So great opportunity there. And then again in June, we are going to have the infamous Tom Ahern has agreed to do a presentation for us. Again, he will be virtually, but we are going to be in person at the beautiful Green Bay Botanical Gardens. So that'll be a perfect time to take a little walk as well and enjoy the beautiful flowers there. But we're excited about him being able to present for us. He's willing to do a 90-minute presentation for us. So we're really excited about that. As a chapter, we always like to have fun as well. So we do have a couple things thrown in the mix, right? We have a summer mixer in the middle of summer or at the end of summer, just to kind of get together and have, again, a networking opportunity to talk to each other, to get to know each other, not necessarily have a formal presentation around it, but just, again, an opportunity to be together. And then at the end of the year, we're doing another similar thing with a party to celebrate all of our successes for the year. And again, coming together and to share those successes and to share those frustrations. And again, it's just an opportunity to really get to know one another, because collectively we are all doing great work and we are all doing amazing things in Northeast Wisconsin. And this year we're going to be at the Timber Rattler Stadium. So we're really excited about that. So there are a couple things that we're still trying to finalize, but we do have a lot of things already squared away, pinned down. So we will be communicating all of these very soon as we get these things uploaded and ready to go and ready to launch registration. One thing again that we take pride in is that a lot of our programs, or the majority of our programs, are CFRE eligible. So we are providing that opportunity to attend our session and then get those credits as well, those continuing education credits. So that is one thing that we really take pride in, to have those opportunities available from a programming perspective. So I think that is a lot of information. I know that you have not memorized the table, but again, we will be communicating this throughout the year, but I just wanted to throw a high level. Here it is. Here's what we're planning for the year. And we're really excited about the lineup this year. So next, I'm going to introduce Tanya, who's going to share about mentorship. And I know, again, personally, when I joined AFP, I believe I got a mentor and maybe a couple years in, and it was just a phenomenal experience for me. I was new to fundraising at that time, so it was just really helpful to have someone that went before me to kind of share her experience and help me in on my path to success. And now I'm able to do that. I have working with another woman right now, and it's just been a great opportunity to share those successes together and help each other. So, Tanya.
Well, thank you so much, Robin. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me? Yes, excellent.
Yep.
Wow, what an act to follow. Robin, I just want to really kind of give you and the committee kudos, because the committee under Robin's leadership the last couple of years now has just done an exceptional job with programming. The programming, I think of my time with AFP, which has now been about at least 15 years, the programming at the time we had some, and actually we created it and executed it, or the club did, I should say, the organization, the chapter, kind of as the year went. And it really wasn't until about 8 or 9 years ago that we, a group, members like all of us, decided to put a little bit more heft behind it and really look at the types of programs that we could do to really elevate fundraising in our community. And I see the list that you just explained, and it's awesome. Really great speakers that are well known throughout the country are going to be in our backyard, whether it's on a video or in person, and it's really pretty special. So for those of you who are not members, this chapter has really stood up this past decade to say, let's get together, let's be stronger, let's support the nonprofit community that we all live and work within. So great job on that. So great segue into another benefit of AFP, the mentorship program. The mentorship program has been in place for, as many years as I've been part of AFP. And my membership goes back to probably about 15 years ago. And it went back to a point in time when the chapter was smaller and really deciding how it wanted to thrive in the future. And a huge effort was put in place by a lot of people to do things like engage the mentorship program, add value to more of the programs that we bring to the area. And mentorship has been critical for a lot of people within the fundraising field, as Robin just said, and many others already today, that it's been a very important piece to help us learn and grow within our role. Not only as a mentee, if someone chooses to say, hey, I want a mentor, but also as a mentor, it's just been incredible to be able to share talents and learnings and successes and challenges, quite frankly, in the fundraising world in a real private conversation that is meant to be confidential. So I'm going to take a few minutes and talk about the program, some of the benefits, and then a little bit about this year's program as well. So the mentorship program is meant to be year-long, and it's about this time of year that we do our matches. And in fact, we just made our matches last week, and emails went out to those individuals who have chosen to either be new or continue in the program. And who's eligible to do it? Well, it's free for all those who are a member of the chapter and of AFP. And there's an application process. It's on our website. And while this year's matching has been done already, please keep it in mind for those of you who are existing members for next year if you didn't get in and if you're interested in it. For those who are new members, so any of you who are on the call today that might choose to pull the trigger and say, yes, I want to become a member, one thing that we're going to be doing today is you will automatically be qualified for a match whenever you join throughout 2024. Some of our mentors did agree to take on new members because we know it's so important. If you're either a new member or if you're new to your role and a new member, we feel it's very important to bring you into this circle of mentorship success and allow you to kind of hit the ground running with the help that you might need behind the scenes to be successful. So mentorship is a year-long program. We match the individual with a mentor. We match a mentee with a mentor who has maybe similar background, areas that you want to learn and grow in. In the application, it'll ask you what areas would you like to really focus on. So we want to make sure we get the best match so it can be a very successful interaction for both individuals. From there, it's you meet as it works for you. It could be once a month. It could be once a quarter. We do ask a minimum of meeting once a quarter. And the mentee gets to drive the discussion. There's a goal document that you can set goals together, how you're going to meet. Is it going to be in person? Is it going to be by phone? Is it by video? How often you want to meet? And then the types of topics that you want to discuss. The mentee can set some goals as far as what's most important, like grow my network, work on annual giving, prepare for a capital campaign. Whatever the goals might be of the mentee, then that mentor will help you in every way possible through meeting at least quarterly. And how long you want to meet, that's up to you. It's really your choice to set those goals and the time that you want to meet and really all of the discussion that you want to have and what you want to get out of it. So for this year, I'll just take a moment just to recap how this year's matches went. Pretty similar to last year's numbers. We've got 19 mentees. And what I really liked about it, it's almost half and half. About 9 of them are almost half are new. And we have 10 continuing from last year. So yes, you can continue year to year. You could continue with the same mentor, or you could ask for maybe a different person with a different perspective or a skill set. The 9 mentees come from all parts of development. Some have been in their role for a short period of time. Some are brand new. Some maybe have been in their role for a long time, but they just want to be able to meet with someone with a different perspective and get some help and maybe some areas that you know that are coming up in the future. Mentors, 15 mentors this year. So some of you are on this call today who stepped up and said, I'll mentor. So thank you to the 5 new mentors that submitted an application to be part of the program. And we have 10 continuing mentors. Myself, I've been a mentor now for about 3 years. I'm chairing the committee now. So we've got a rhythm now about how the matches are working. And it's just worked beautifully. The committee worked really hard to match by skill and strength and make it the best experience ever. Now, that being said, each mentor and mentee will have a committee sponsor that will check in with them throughout the year for a couple of times just to say, how's it going? How can I support you? And really, we just want the mentees to know that we're here and we're supporting you in any way possible on this journey. So that's it on that one. If you could go to the next slide, Robin. So here's just a quote from Nikki from Levin. Nikki and I were matched last year, and she was brand new into her role, and she jumped right into the mentorship program. In fact, I think she started her role in maybe like January, and then the mentorship program kicked off in March last year. And as you can see, she really feels that it's a real nurturing environment for both the mentor and the mentee. And for her, wow, she just gained those insights to be that effective leader and to set the strategies and just to be really kind of a deeper understanding of her own style and what she brings to the table as a new leader. So that's one example of a new leader right out of the gate who had benefited from having a mentor within the program. There's many other stories. There's more quotes on the website. In fact, we'll probably be adding newer quotes as the year goes by because we want to be able to share stories with everyone. If you want to check out the website, you can see the address there below Nikki's name. And it's just right off the website under the program. So it's the mentor program, and you'll find more information. Then the next slide. February 8th, that's when we have our kickoff event. And I'm very happy to say that this year, one of our goals was to get the program kicked off sooner than March. In previous years, we got started in January and we usually kicked off March. Last year it was the end of March. And this year we wanted to get started in December, which we did, and made the matches last week. And so we're ready to kick off on February 8th. So for those existing mentors and mentees, if you're on the call, I know some of you have already replied, but wonderful if you have. If you have not, please do so, because we would love to have as many people there to celebrate the kickoff as we can. And what we do for those of you who are not in the program, at least not for this year, is we meet at Holidays Pub and Grill. It's where we're going to be for this year. And we just have a nice little brief welcome. And it's really networking and connecting with like-minded friends of the nonprofit sector. So if you haven't RSVP'd, please do so. I too, much like Robin said and Amanda said how much we love this sector, I was happy to be part of the mentorship committee as I joined the board last year for the second time. And it was really kind of my thing because I've always really, really valued education, really feel that we as senior development professionals kind of have a duty to really bring along the sector and career leaders like yourself and professionals who want to do well and be in this role. So I was really happy to be invited to do that by leading this committee. And of course, in the work that I do, which is also on the consulting side, it's all about bringing people along to be successful in their organizations. So that's our mentorship program, and I would welcome any emails or messages. And I see I didn't put my information in there. Maybe I'll put it in the chat. If anyone has questions, you can contact me or any member of our committee. And I think that's my last slide, isn't it, Robin? I believe it is. Yeah. So please consider for next year. We're probably going to get the applications out in 24, probably in December, to be considered for 25. Would love to talk with anyone about that if you're interested. All right.
Thanks, Tanya.
You're welcome.
All right. We are going to now, I'm going to turn it over to Amanda, who's going to talk a little bit about inclusion, diversity, equity, and access.
Yeah, thank you. I mirror my fellow board members in saying I'm really excited to have you all on the call. It's great to see that many individuals either new or interested in joining AFP. As we've heard, it has a lot of different benefits. And part of our work at AFP has long been in support of inclusion of individuals from a wide range of backgrounds in the fundraising profession. And that's work that we continue to drive forward with not only the IDEA chair, which is inclusion, diversity, equity, and access, but also the newly developed AFP IDEA committee that is very focused on how we drive these efforts forward. IDEA is not siloed. This work is not something that you can put in a box and say, this is what we're doing and this is what it looks like. It really touches every single aspect of what our chapter does and what our organization is bringing forward. So you heard Robin talk earlier about programming and how her and her group are really seeking to make sure that not only is the programming offered a wide range of options, but also that we offer it geographically in different spaces so it remains very accessible for our members. Amanda, thank you for touching on the different membership costs for smaller nonprofits. Again, just trying to make sure that we have different ways to pull in more fundraising professionals from all different demographics and sizes. It's really exciting work. So as we continue on through the year, our IDEA committee will continue to work on reaffirming those principles and working on a document that will really help continue to guide this work as we move forward as a chapter. So if you're interested in getting involved either as a new AFP member in more of this work, I welcome any new committee members to this IDEA committee. All voices are welcome. It's a space really where we can be collaborative and we can really continue to ensure we're viewing all of what we do from an IDEA lens. Also, with that, if anybody on this call is not a member and they're experiencing any barriers or reasons as to why they are not, I would be very interested in learning a little bit more about, again, if there's any barriers to you becoming a member. Maybe you're new and you haven't explored this option before. Again, another opportunity to engage. So I will put my information in the chat. Please feel free to reach out. All of this information will just, again, continue to make sure that we do more and we do better and we continue to move forward in this work. So really exciting stuff in the space. I'm happy to be a part of it, and I welcome you all to join as well.
Thank you, Amanda. And actually, the programming committee and the IDEA committee are working on a program to come to you in April to talk specifically about this. And I think it's going to be a really big deep dive conversation about it, to really talk further and deeper about it and how we can collectively share our ideas and our frustrations and our successes and all of that. So look for more information on that to come when we finalize that. All right, now I'd like to introduce Michelle, who is going to share about youth in philanthropy. Michelle.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So I can't echo enough or loudly enough everything everybody else has said about the benefits of the organization. And while they're all focusing on current professionals in the industry, Youth in Philanthropy originally was meant to help educate the younger generation about the need, the benefits of fundraising as a profession. People don't just wake up one day, right, and either decide to become a philanthropist or decide to become a fundraising professional. So how do we foster that? How do we provide those environments and opportunities for either young students or young professionals to understand the work that we all do? So at one point, it was a common practice for AFP to attend, the 8th grade job fair, right? Well, then what happened? COVID. And no longer did we have that connection to school-based or school site programs. So last year, a group of us really put our heads together and tried to think of how AFP could still remain relevant and effective in impacting those two groups. So we want to continue to be a conduit, a resource to organizations serving youth, as well as those young professionals. So we'll be putting together a plan this year to create opportunities to help teach Development 101. Think of organizations like Pulse or young professionals, possibly go to the secondary ed. UWO has a nonprofit program. How can we take real life experience to help influence people who are considering that? Then the second group is working with youth service organizations. How many of you, and you don't need to raise your hand and admit it, but remember when you were a kid and you had to sell popcorn or pizzas, and what did your parent probably do? Roll their eyes, buy the pizzas, right? Like it was a pain, it was a chore. So that opinion is set really early on. So how do we work with organizations to work with parents, to work with youth, that this is an exciting work, this is necessary work to help our communities thrive? And how do we begin to kind of reshape that narrative to show just how important the work of fundraising is in our community and to our organizations. So that's our drive for this year. And again, we'll be working on the plan to implement that. If anybody is interested in that as a topic, feel free to reach out. We'd love to have your help.
Thank you, Michelle. All right. And finally, not finally, but I wanted to turn the floor over to Katie, who's going to share a little bit about National Philanthropy Day.
Thanks, Robin. I think everything's been said about how great AFP is, so I love it too. I'm the National Philanthropy Day co-chair this year, along with Courtney Donati, who's also on this call. So we just wanted to do a quick plug. It'll be Thursday, November 14th this year at the Green Bay Distillery. If you haven't been to National Philanthropy Day, it's our day as a chapter, as well as chapters across the nation and AFP Global, that we get to celebrate philanthropy as not only a profession, but something that everybody in your community gets to do. So we do awards, and then have a number of speakers that count as professional development for us as fundraisers. So it's a really inspiring day, a really wonderful day. Our committee is just starting to plan that. So if you're looking for a way to get involved, just like all the other committees have said, I'll put my email in the chat. We're a wonderful group that gets to help plan that. So looking for people to help, speakers, event space, sponsorship, that kind of thing. I don't feel like there's ever been one that I haven't walked away from and been like, I've gained something, or learned something new. So it's a wonderful day, and we hope you'll join us in November. And as a member, you get a discount, when we put tickets on for sale. So that's always a great piece too. So that's it.
Thanks, Katie. And on that same note, I forgot to touch on the programming and sort of the cost. I forgot to talk about that. So real quick, as a member, again, you do get discounted opportunity to attend our program. So it's typically going to be $25 for members for a 1-hour session, and $50 for non-members. So again, there is a significant savings by being a member. You do get that discount, and all of our roundtables are free if you are a member. So again, you just come and purchase some coffee if you'd like, and be able to have that networking opportunity and join the conversation. So again, when we send out the information on all of those programs as they come up, there will be the registration and information, but I wanted to share that ahead of time. So we are ahead of time, but that's okay, because I wanted to have the ability to open it up for questions if there are any questions. So I'm going to stop sharing, and again, if there are questions from anyone, if you wanted to put it in the chat, if you don't feel comfortable, or if you wanted to unmute and ask your question, we are all ears.
I'll just add for the roundtables, those, if you can come to those, if you can make it to those are really, really awesome. So we do have a topic every roundtable. There's a topic that we can discuss, but a lot of times it does turn into a camaraderie. That's really where you're getting to know other members and digging in and helping each other solve problems. I love the roundtables. I will try to make every single one of them.
I want to open up the floor too for those of you who, if you're looking for specific programs, and you don't have to like blurt them out loud and put yourself on the spot or even put them in the chat, but Robin and Michelle, our programming co-chairs, are always up for those suggestions. If there are things that you don't see in current programming, or resources that you'd like to have available to you, just reach out to us. That's what we're here for. And if we can help you navigate, whether it's global resources or resources that we have locally, it's just a good place to start if you're looking for something specific.
And also, I guess on that, there are a few things that we are still working on. So there could be additional programming opportunities that you didn't even see on today's calendar, and and things that not necessarily are in this area, like, for example, Fundraising Day Wisconsin, that's usually held in the Madison or the Milwaukee area. That's kind of a conglomerate of the 3 AFP chapters. That typically happens in June. So once that's finalized, we will get that information out to you. So again, there's just opportunities that come across our plates that we like to help kind of promote from an AFP perspective. So again, just providing those opportunities as well.
Robin, there's just one thing that I would like to add, and that has been the strong return on investment that AFP provides all its members. Years ago, when I first started to join, and I hadn't joined for, I was in development for a few years before I joined, and I just could not believe the plethora of resources. After going to my first national conference, I was blown away. And I think, Amanda, you mentioned how it was it just jump-started your work as a professional. And I just want to really, really kind of underscore that. It was incredible. So for any of you newbies who are trying to figure out, where do I go? How do I figure this out? You're probably going to be in the you don't know what you don't know mode for a while. And so by leaning into the free roundtables to get a flavor of AFP, doing some local things, I think you're going to find the plethora of resources available. If you choose to do membership, even more. But know that there's a group, and we're here to help you, because that's what we do, right? We want the whole community to thrive and be really strong. So return on investment is really, really strong. So that's us just saying to you as a collective group, because of course we're going to promote it because we love it, we benefit from it, but truly, truly, it's what you put into it also. But strong return on investment. If you're kind of wondering, like, do I have time? How much money is it? It's a drop in the bucket from what you can get in return for your career and results at your nonprofit.
Yes, and speaking of return on investment, there was a question about a medium-sized nonprofit. So they don't really price based on the size. The only one that's categorized as size is there's a large group or large nonprofit rate that includes multiple seats, I would say. And then there's a small nonprofit rate. The medium nonprofit rate would be like the associate level, which would be $1 or $290 plus $45 for the chapter dues, I think we're at. So
our chapter dues are $30.
they're oh, okay. Even better. So it would be $190 plus $30. So our $290 plus $30. I'm really bad at math today. So $220 for anything over 2 million. There's another question about the calendar being on the website. Robin.
Oh, yes.
In the chat.
I'm sorry. So type in there.
Oh, I was just going to share that it is not up on the website yet, because we don't have, once we get all the details filled in, the programs will start showing up on the calendar, but we will be sending an email follow-up to this that'll share the details that Robin shared today.
Yes.
So you at least have that.
Yes. I would say soon it will be up, because we're just trying to finalize a couple different things, and then the calendar will be set for the year. So keep checking back.
Is there a recording that will go out of this to the people who attended today?
Yes, we are recording it, and it will be sent out hopefully later this week or early next week.
Awesome.
John, I believe you have your hand raised.
Yes, good afternoon, Jonathan from the Fox Valley Veterans Council. Thank you for the insight and the information. I have a couple questions. So how many members are currently with this chapter in Northeast Wisconsin?
Oh, that's a good question. We've been having some issues with our reporting from Global, but
Okay.
I think we're right around 115 members, maybe 120. It does fluctuate, but we've been consistently over 100 for the last 4 or 5 years now.
Thank you. No, it's good to get the perspective from a lot of different people, because just looking at the website, it's a lot of great information, but just hearing it verbally is great. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
there's real faces.
yeah,
There's real faces behind the websites that actually get together and we have good conversation. So
yeah, the events look a lot of fun. So thank you all. I appreciate it, and have a good rest of your day.
yeah, you
Thanks,
too.
John. All right. Well, see no other hands raised or no other questions in the chat. Our website is in the chat, afpnewi.org. Please check that website often, as we will be updating once we have things finalized. Again, you will be receiving this recording within the next week. Thank you so much for participating today. It's actually great to see a lot of new faces that I haven't typically seen in a session before. So I'm excited to meet you all in person when you come to our next roundtable or next in-person event. So yeah, thank you so much for spending an hour with us today.